Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what promises to be a truly special day. Nice to see so many familiar faces. Nice to see everyone smiling. I think to start things off, I want to give a big round of applause to everyone who's been involved in making this particular tournament, the Betway SA20, a big success. Let's just start with a nice big round of applause. My name is Fiso Mazibugo. And I cast my mind back. I asked myself, where's time gone? I cast my mind back to the very first edition of this particular tournament. I was in Cape Town, opening day. I've never received so many phone calls from people from Cape Town. My phone's ringing. I had to go into default mode. The former minister, Zizu Godwa, I was just telling everyone, I just arrived. I've just arrived. I don't have tickets. I've just arrived. So I think that just set things off for what would be an incredible tournament. And cheers to everyone again who's been involved in helping it to get to that very level. Now, today we've got a fantastic lineup from revealing key matchups for Season 3 to introducing a special announcement in association with Cricket South Africa. And that's set to change the future of cricket in our country. So I'm pretty excited about that. So without wasting your time, let's dive straight into that. And I'd like to call up a man who's been at the center of making this tournament so special. I call him Vince McMahon. That's our own private thing. But some people call him the commissioner, and I'm saying this for the first time publicly. And I know he won't let me forget it. One of my heroes when I was growing up. Ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the Betway SA20, Graeme Smith. I thought you were going to do the Vince McMahon walk.
Who's Vince McMahon?
Come on. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Graeme, welcome, man. Truly special, no doubt, to be getting towards announcing the fixtures for Season 3. But I just want to cast your mind back to that very first one, No doubt there would have been jitters, there would have been, where will this go? And it took off.
Yeah. Firstly, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. I see we've got a lovely crop of players, experienced and young. To all our partners in the room, thanks for making time and joining us on that ride. If I think back to Season 1, once we had closed the franchises, there was about 3 months to start date. So all very nervous in terms of how that would go. I think, looking back 2 years later now, it's been incredible. 2 years over around 380,000 fans coming through our gates. The cricket has been incredible. Some of the performances in Season 2 are outstanding. And really now an established product that's really put itself on the global stage as a real tier 1 franchise event and attracting some even more high profile quality players along with our outstanding local ones.
I mean, you speaking of how big the event has become, it's become more than sport. It's become entertainment, lifestyle. There's people that ask for tickets and people I see at stadiums who I've never seen watching the game of cricket, but that speaks volumes to the product that has been put out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think at the core, you'll always be a cricket product. You want to see outstanding cricket, but, we do invest a lot in the in-stadium experience. We've been very deliberate of, obviously reviving a cricket fan, but, creating a new audience for cricket, in particular at 18 to 35. And I think what we've been able to create is that anyone, whether you're a student, a family, or, you can come out on a Tuesday night and have a great time at an SA20 game. And I think that's crucially important for us. And that's the feedback we get from our fans, which is great.
I mean, you've touched on the fact that it's become a tier 1 event with regards to the leagues that are there around the world. How have you managed to do that? And what potentially in the future, could we see happening in this particular tournament?
Well, I mean, a lot of hard work goes into running the event, I think, to keep it as professional as possible, to have the fans, I think, come out and support the summer environment, the standard of cricket, our stadiums, it has been incredible. And that's the feedback we get even when we go around the world now. People watching on TV say they love, obviously turning on, watching the quality of the cricket, but the colour, the sunshine, the vibes inside the stadium has really just comes through the screen. And, that's crucial. I think for us, it's about growing from strength to strength now. The franchise, system is growing. With the 100 privatizing now, there's a lot of competition in the market, and I think we've established ourselves as one of our goals is to be the biggest league outside India. I think right now our metrics are showing that, and we've got to keep going and keep pushing.
There was a big focus before the tournament started about how potentially this could benefit South African cricket, having seen the IPL and the effect it had on the Indian national team. No doubt there will be a major drive going forward, and you have done in the past, about nurturing the stars of tomorrow. I mean, we've got a few that are here. Kwena just recently made his debut for the Proteas. The list is endless with regards to possibilities and nurturing the talent of tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the introduction of the rookie player in season 2 was big. It's been great to see, it's been built to auction on the 1st of October. I think teams are looking really strong already, and a number of those rookies have been incorporated into the sort of playing squads already. There'll obviously be another rookie round at this auction. So, yes, introducing young talent, but also, making sure that we're putting 70-odd South African players on a global stage every year. I think improving the standard of cricket. We ultimately want to see a strong Proteas team winning, competing like they did in the previous World Cup, giving themselves opportunity to win trophies. What was great is we also saw, in this year's IPL, I think it was most international players picked up were from South Africa. So we're starting to see, real outstanding crop of players. And the players here don't want to hear it, but the more competition we can create for the national team, the better it's going to get. So, hopefully this event will do that.
Now, I know that the auction will be the next thing, next big thing on the horizon for you. Have you kept that rookie option, and is there any changes that we can expect at the auction?
Yeah, so there's 13 slots in the auction available and 6 rookies on top of that, so 19 slots at the auction. A lot of the squads have been put together, and I'm very excited when you look down the list of players, both international, local. The quality of cricket that we're going to see in January, February next year is going to be of extremely high standard. For us as the league, it's about creating regulations that keep the competition equally strong, that, like last year, you get down to the final weekend and you actually still don't know who's going to qualify in top place, So it does make our life a nightmare for the playoffs because you generally only get one day to then decide, so that's why we do it in advance, because, you only have one day post that final game, and it's almost impossible to sell tickets, sell suites, deliver the same in-stadium experience that you do in the round-robin phases. So, for us, we've gone for 3 playoff venues this year, and hopefully that'll work well, be as exciting as what it has been.
I tell you what, no doubt everyone is keen to find out those fixtures that we're here to announce. So let's take a quick look. Graeme, let's step aside and let everyone enjoy.
Welcome one and all, wherever you may be.
Welcome to Incredible as we look ahead to Season 3 of the Betway SA20. The opening game at 5:30 p.m. on 9 January sees MI Cape Town visiting the back-to-back defending champions, the Sunrisers Eastern Cape. St. George's Park is the home of the iconic Brass Band and the Orange Army, where Markham, Bartman, Stubbs, along with newcomer Zach Crawley and the rest of the superstars in orange will once again look to rise to the occasion. We're excited to welcome back Season 1 bowler of the season, Roelof the Bulldog van der Merwe. The action heads up the East Coast to Kingsmead next, where Durban Super Giants host Pretoria Capitals on Friday the 10th of January at 5:30 p.m. The warmest Durban welcome will await Black Caps legend Kane Williamson as he joins other incredible international talents Marcus Stoinis and Noor Ahmed, along with local superstars Parson and De Kock, as well as skipper Keshav Maharaj. The picturesque Paarl hosts the first Betway SA20 day game on Saturday, 11 January, when the Royals take on the Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Dave Miller and the rest of the men in pink will welcome the classy Joe Ruitt and the T20 World Cup winner Dinesh Karthik, along with young guns Nkaba Peter and Kwena Mapaka, to the roster at Boland Park, as the Royals look to go all the way this season. That Saturday night, we'll see Joburg Super Kings start their campaign by hosting MI Cape Town at the Bull Ring from 5:30 p.m. The Whistles and the Yellow Army have been waiting for Faf du Plessis, Moeen Ali, Lizard Williams, Johnny Besto and Devon Conway's homecoming, along with the rest of the JSK squad, as they gun for glory once more. The opening Sunday action will be in Pretoria on the 12th of January, where the Capitals will host Durban Super Giants from 3:30 p.m. Centurion has seen some sensational catches on and off the field, and the Grassbacks will be ready for more in Season 3. With Anrik Nokia speeding in, Riley Rousseau and Will Jacks on batting power, and T20 World Cup top run scorer Ramanula Garbaz, the Capitals will be looking for a fast start at Centurion. MI Cape Town's first home game is a Cape Derby against Paarl Royals on Monday the 13th of January. New international signings Ben Stokes and Trent Bolt will be looking to make an immediate impression at Newlands, alongside the likes of Ryan Rickleton, Rossi van der Dissen and KG Rabada on a massive Monday night in the Mother City. As we get to the business end of Season 3, it will be time for the playoffs. This is where Betway SA20 destinies will be decided. The 4th of February sees the first qualifier at the oldest ground in the country with its incredible fans, St. George's Park, where the winners will head straight to the final. The action heats up even more on the 5th of February as fans at Centurion take in the eliminator between 3rd and 4th place on the standings. The winner of that encounter will play in the second qualifier, which takes place on the 6th of February, also in Pretoria. After 33 epic matches across 6 cities, all roads will eventually lead to the Betway SA20 final on Saturday the 8th of February. The Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg will play host to the final, where 2 incredible teams will battle for the honor of being crowned champions. Let's get ready for Season 3 of the Betway SA20, where incredible things will happen.
Graeme, you've seen the video. It's here. It's here now. Are you ready to go?
Well, for us working on the event, it doesn't feel like it goes away. But for everyone else, it's just nice to count down these milestones as we near to Season 3. It's incredible that we can say we got a Season 3 around. If you think back on what we've been able to build, everyone in the room has been a part of it. So it's been fantastic. This season fixtures were, it was a couple of nervous moments with Champions Trophy happening just behind us, but we're very happy with how we've netted out, and some great clashes ahead.
Now, you mentioned the playoffs, and now the venues. It's changed with regards to that because obviously now, you look at how many games you'll be playing at how many venues. Take me through that.
Yeah, so we've opted for 3 playoff venues this year. So the first knockout game will happen in Sunrise's territory in Gqeberha, and then 2 in Supersport Park, Centurion, and then the final at the Wanderers. As I said, the challenge for us after 30 round robin games is, if we think about last year, the final standings was just decided on the last game of the event. So you've got one day in between that to then set up all the knockout venues and get them ready for game time. So selling tickets and hospitality and getting those houses full for the magnificent teams on shows is a challenge. And this year, hopefully with the 3 venues, we can get that right.
Look, I'm gonna reveal a secret here. I've been practicing one-handed catches a lot. I want that money. So tell me, do we still have the Betway Catch 2 billion?
As far as I know, I see the men in the room now. I don't want to put them under pressure. I see them starting to sweat. But, it's been one of the great activations. I think it's played its role in some of the success stories of Betway SA20. Just seeing people in the stands, diving for balls all over the place, it does create some great talking points and some great comedy through the TV, and I think it's been an incredible story for people that have taken the catch. I've heard rumours that it might grow. I don't know. We'll have to take that offline,
okay.
But let's see.
Look, no pressure to the guys. But ladies and gentlemen, Graeme Smith, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now, ladies and gents, it's time for us to shine the spotlight on some of the players that we have here. Tian, don't look nervous. You'll be all right. Because these are the guys that do the magic on the field and keep us entertained and give everyone an opportunity in the crowd to take those catches. So, looking forward to chatting with them. And I'm going to call them up one by one. I'm going to start with Durban's Super Giants, Vian Mulder. Next up, I'd like to call upon Joburg Super Kings fast bowler Lizard Williams. One of the most talented, young, hard-hitting batsmen, and that is from MI Cape Town, Connor Esterhuizen. Next up, the man with the magic smile and the deadly slower ball, that is Lungi Ngiti. From the Pretoria Capitals, Tian van Vuren. And a man who's a Protea now, is a big international star, and that is Patrick Kruger from the Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Since you're sitting right next to me, I feel like I need to start with you, Vian. You're at home right now, but obviously playing for Durban's Super Giants. How's the coast treating you?
I'm not at the coast. I'm like in Durban. It's incredible. I've really enjoyed being part of the DSG family. They've been very good to all of us, and they've really welcomed people from all over the country to create a real special environment.
I mean, you went all the way last time out. How was that journey, and how did it differ from the very first one?
Yeah, the first one was tough, to be honest. We lost a couple of crucial games, really close games that just, I think if you're going to win the comp, you win those games. We lost those. Where in the second season, it seemed like everything kind of went our way. We have Magic Man Classy on our side, who wins you games single-handedly. And I think if you look at the comp, he won us a couple of games, but there were so many different guys who put their hand up, and I think that's why, in the end, we went to the final and had a tough game. But yeah, we made it there.
Yeah, it's those guys in the corner there. They're the ones that, unfortunately, took away the smiles. Yeah. Patrick Kruger, number one, how does it feel to play out in Gqeberha? There's a chant that they have there. Yeah, koma ding. Yeah, koma ding. Hey, it's always electric there, eh?
Yeah, no, the crowds has been good in PE. Hardly you ever hear what they say. It's just loud. But it's really good to play there. You always feel the vibe, and you want to do well for them. So it's been good.
Back-to-back champions. I mean, when you started this journey with the Betway SA20, did you guys think that was possible?
I don't know. I wasn't part of the first one, but so the second one, obviously, you do back yourself more because you wanted the first year. But yeah, no, in the camp, the guys are always backing themselves to win it. So we went confident into the comp. So that just luckily it paid off us.
No, happy to hear that. And I've asked Vian to pass the mic now to, they call him the king here. But you know, the real king is Michael Jordan, not LeBron James. So are we on the same path there?
No.
Lizard, I mean, Patrick's spoken about, crowds in Gqeberha. The crowds have been special here at the Bullring as well. You've made this place yours.
Yeah, it's obviously the most iconic stadium in South Africa, so it's very nice playing at the Wanderers. The crowd has been unbelievable, especially to see the amount of kids coming to watch, even on school nights. Yeah, we did make Wanderers a fortress for us. I would say one guy that we might have missed a bit was Gerald Coetzee, and hopefully him being back now in the third season, it will just put our team in a stronger position.
All right, so just pass the mic to Connor there. I mean, Connor, you came in as a rookie. You picked by Mahela J. Wardener and that legendary coaching staff. How did that make you feel as a young man who was still finding your feet in domestic cricket?
No, it was obviously a special feeling to be picked up by a legend and such an iconic franchise around world cricket. We were actually playing a domestic game here, and we were off for rain, and I found out from my teammates that I got picked up by them. So it was a very special evening for me.
You seem chilled right now, but take me through that emotion, man. How did you really feel?
It took me a while to process, to be quite honest. I mean, it's hard to sit through a whole auction on the edge of your seat. So to be picked up as a rookie was very special.
Tian, you obviously came in as a replacement player, as a rookie. Take me through the Pretoria Capitals culture and how they welcomed you into their team.
Yeah, look, it was very incredible. For a team of that caliber to include you so quickly, it was great. And then also just to just see the way that they did things, the way that they carry themselves. It was incredible.
All right, and Lungi, we were cheering for you guys as the Proteas recently at the World Cup, and no doubt this particular tournament has had a strong effect on essentially creating a stronger team. What do you make of the league as a whole and what it's done for South African cricket?
It's been great, to be honest. A lot of the guys, put their hands up during the season, during the SA20 comp, and rightly so, they got their accolades when they got picked up for the World Cup. I think Bartman is a prime example of someone who's come through the franchise system and having the SA20, being given an opportunity, shining in playoff games, and then finding himself at a World Cup. So clearly it's shown that it's producing the results, and pretty excited for what it holds for the future.
And I mean, it's producing the stars of tomorrow as well. There's one there in Gwena, Ngaba Peter being another. A lot of you here are senior players. And what role do you play in helping, those sort of young players that are coming through and making sure that they learn, but more importantly, that they continue to enjoy the game?
I think it's a massive privilege, first of all, to be able to, nurture young players into the international scene and onto the international stage. The biggest thing, I think, is helping them deal with the pressure and obviously what comes with being an international cricketer. Playing in front of these crowds, filling out stadiums, already they become accustomed to something like that. By the time you get to a World Cup, you already know what it looks like to play in front of a full stadium. So helping them, manage those emotions, whatever's going through their head at the time. And then hopefully when we move on, we pass the baton on and leave Cricket South Africa in a better place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I want to ask Connor, I mean, you'll be sharing the change room. You've already shared the change room with some pretty iconic players, but you look at now season 2 with your Ben Stokes in the mix, Trent Bolt. How big is that, to keep learning from not only South African greats, but greats of international cricket?
No, it's definitely an incredible honor to learn from guys like that. I mean, as a youngster watching them on TV just a couple of years ago, to be sharing the change room with them is something very special. Just to see how they are and how they go about their business on the day-to-day is something that can hopefully make young guys' careers move forward.
Tian, for you, I mean, you've been retained. What personal goals do you have, going into season 3?
Yeah, I think with a tournament like this, to almost give the performance that puts the team in a better position, to almost give that, if the opportunity comes to just to give an explosive and opportunity for the team to be able to win the game. So I think that's one of the, especially in a shorter, compact tournament like this, there's opportunities just to make a small difference to have a big impact later on.
Lizard, if you could just grab the mic there. Take me into the change room, because a lot of people here will be asking themselves, what goes on in a change room that has a Stephen Fleming, a Faf du Plessis, and Eric Simons? How big an impact have they played, not only in your personal growth, but in the culture that you've built at the JSK team?
It's a very laid-back environment, I would say, not in a bad way, but I'm sure it obviously worked for them at Chennai, so they just brought it to South Africa. It allows us as players to almost take initiative of your own game. It also makes you learn out of your failings a bit quicker. So it's a very nice environment, I must say. Very experienced people.
Yeah, no, can only imagine. Patrick, just quickly sum up to anyone who has never been to Quebec, maybe watching, joining in today, how would you encourage them to head out to that particular stadium to enjoy the Betway SA20?
Obviously, the crowds and stuff speak for themselves, but seeing the cricket we do play, I'm sure it encourages people to come and watch us. But yeah, it would be nice to have people come from afar and stuff to support us. So yeah, just.
And of course, you've broken into the Proteas now, and there will be a bigger spotlight on you, not only for this tournament, but potentially others around the world. How are you looking forward to the challenge of season 3 and making sure that you keep elevating your name and keep elevating where you're from, Kimberley?
Yeah, no, obviously we want to try and win the comp again, try and keep it as simple as we can. Yeah, but I just want to obviously contribute with my role being obviously to bowl and bat, so it's a bit tougher to execute sometimes because there's more pressure, but obviously I just want to give my best for the team and give us a possible chance, obviously, to win the comp again.
All right, lastly, Vian, you came close last time. How do we go another step?
Yes, if I could give you that answer, I'm pretty sure many people will pay me a lot of money for that. But I think the key thing that we did as DSG was create an environment where people play with freedom and go out there and try and express themselves and put in those performances that Tian speak about to win games and make a small impact, but actually giving the team a better opportunity to win the game. And I think that's the culture that DSG breeds. And I hope that in the next season we can do more of what we did in the previous season. And just create more opportunities for many different people to put their hands up and really enjoy SA20 for what it is and the opportunities that it brings.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to our players. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next part of proceedings is, it holds a special place in my heart. I don't know, where's my package? Jess, where's my parcel? Is it close by? Yeah, because we need to do this in style. We have to do it with a flourish. All right, can you just pass me that, my brother? There we go, there we go. All right, so it's a change of wardrobe because we are now changing gears. Now, if any of you played school sports, you know just how special it is. Hey, I told my mother in 2002 this was too big. I was right, because I wasn't a Teletubby then. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are now transitioning into school sport, which is the big focus. If I cast my mind back to playing sport as a young man, one of the most special things I learned was all the lessons. You learn about hardship. You learn about tough times. You learn to never give up. I go back to my very first match when I was at Glenwood High School. I was coached by Linda Zondi, the former Proteas convener of selectors. I got a duck, went for 25 runs in 2 overs, and I walked into the change room, and in front of everyone, he said, "Mazibuko, you cost us the game." Hey, that hit me hard. I've never experienced that. But what it taught me was that you'll go through ups and downs in sport, and all you got to do is find a way to never give in. So, cheers to all the lessons in school sport. And it's time for us to welcome the next chapter of Incredible for boys and girls.
Make it happen so hot, we burn it up. We just can't
that's just gorgeous.
get down now, have some fun, 'cause we
Terrific piece of Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this exciting milestone in South African cricket. This partnership is a national cricket competition across all 14 regions. Looking fresh, brother. So this is a competition across all 14 regions for boys and girls. So let's welcome back on stage Graeme Smith, the SA20 League Commissioner. And I'd also like to ask the CEO of Cricket South Africa, Puletsi Moseki, as well as Pearl Mashego from Super Sports Schools to join us on stage. Here you are. How's things? All right, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on stage. I'm going to start on the far side because he decided to copy me, I see. Famous jersey. And I mean, for you're a perfect example, Graeme, of coming through the pipeline from schoolboy cricket to under-19s to essentially then going on to captain your national team. And a lot of young people will be watching saying, I want to be like that.
Well, I mean, I think you touched on a valuable point as to why, the schools program is so crucially important. I mean, I started at a small school in the back end of Northcliffe called Risidale Junior School, and fortunately ended up at Cares, which then created a perfect platform for me to obviously grow my skills and develop into a cricketer and as a person. So, I think for us, if I think back to those school days, playing in those competitions against talented kids, bettering your skills, really did create the opportunity and the dream for me to want to, represent South Africa. So, being picked for SA schools and SA under-19, those are all wonderful platforms, but it starts, at school. And, to be able to give this competition life, to give it context, is something we're very, very excited about in conjunction with Supersport Schools and Cricket South Africa. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes to kind of bring this to life again. We're very, very excited about, the opportunity to go and invest back into the pipeline with the two colleagues next to me.
And I mean, Stephen Cook, I don't know if he's around yet, but I think you guys spend quite a bit of time out in the middle together. Does putting that on take you back in time?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit brighter than I remember. I was quite proud about it at school, but now I'm glad it still fits. But yeah, look, Stephen, he still moans at me. He says I always used to hog the strike, take a single off the last ball still. So he reckons that's why I got ahead of him playing for South Africa. But yeah, I mean, Cares as a school has got a great cricketing tradition and platform, and a lot of incredible cricketers have come through. And what we hope is now investing in this program, over 500 schools, over 1,000 games, girls and boys, that you'll start to see new teenage sensations come through, tomorrow's heroes. But most importantly, we need to keep cricket as a strong dream for our kids coming through in this country, and I think that's creates that platform for both girls and boys.
And Politsi, I mean, he's touched on the point I wanted to ask you with regards to that, in terms of the future, in terms of the plans that are there. From a Cricket South Africa point of view, how big a role do you see this playing in the future of our game?
Good afternoon, all. Firstly, I'm quite impressed that the two of you still feed in your praises. My brother, I think for us, quite excited. I think, as Graeme has stated, we've been working on this for quite a while. The last time we had the schools T20 competition, I think, was just over 5 years ago or something. And it was one of the things that we always planned to bring back. If you think about our development and pipeline, we currently have the KFC mini cricket, which is amazing, But I don't think we've really had a tournament or event that does capture the minds, especially for kids that progress from softball to hardball. The schools SA20 for us is really going to play that role, a very important role for that matter. So we are excited. We're hoping the schools in the country are excited. He spoke about 500. I'm hoping that even my little school in Soweto will also start participating in this thing, and you can also have places, So yeah, but I am excited. It's something that we're going to invest quite a lot to ensure that it grows and really deal with our our developmental goals as cricket in the country, So looking forward to it.
Now looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to the coverage that we'll be getting from Supersport Schools. I mean, you guys have done an incredible job, first and foremost. And we've already had your Friday night lights, your big derby days. Take me through how, as a team, you plan to broadcast this thing and make sure that it's on that grand scale.
Afternoon, everyone. So we're very, very excited because as much as we brought you the big derbies, the passion and the love for it, as well as your Friday night lights, we really want to bring that exact same energy to the schools SA20. We want to harness and bring a community. And there are big plans coming for it, not only for the players, but also for the ones that are going to be watching, the younger generation, our Gen Zs, the ones that we want to ignite the passion for it, which is the Gen As, 14 and younger. And they're the ones who are actually going to be sharing this content. So what's fantastic is the fact that we've got all these regions that we're going to be involved in. So it allows us as super sports schools to be able to stream it at quite a scale, at a cost-effective manner as well, to be able to ensure that there's no region or school that goes unnoticed or cannot participate because our resources are quite limited. And I think that's the beauty of super sports schools. You can watch it on your app, wherever you are, free of charge. All you have to do is register, become part of the over 1 million registered users. So all you have to do is just register on your iOS device or your Android, and the matches will be there for you guys. Yes.
And you know what? I actually wanted to ask you about that magical 1 million that you guys hit recently. So no doubt you'll be chuffed with that. But Graeme, a lot of people asking themselves, we know the passion for school sports, across the country, and everyone's affiliated with their own school. And how can those people, be excited about what's to come? The fans, as well as the school kids that will be taking part. How will the tournament work?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we would love this event to grow from strength to strength. I think, event one for us is about, making sure we establish it and establish it well. As I said, over 500 schools across, all the cricket members under the Cricket South Africa umbrella, girls and boys. So that's a huge thing to undertake, in particular in phase one. We will be working hand in hand with Eddie Koza and David in the pathways at Cricket South Africa. We run regionally, and then it will scale up from there. So whoever participates in their regions, is successful in their regions, will go to phase two, where those top teams will play each other in region, and whoever wins and will then end up in phase three, which will be sort of a festival weekend, top 8 schools around the country that will put on a really high-profile weekend of hopefully world-class school cricket.
Pearl, you mentioned Gen Z and then Gen A. So now, us who don't fit into 30, what is that, Gen B? Huh? Is that what?
Then it's us, millennials.
Oh, okay. No, I must just check these things. The lingo always changes. But, like I asked Graeme, the excitement, what Super Sports Schools has been able to do is give people who maybe aren't in town, to be able to watch their kids play, to family members. The stories there are simply beautiful. And no doubt you're hoping to keep creating beautiful stories and beautiful memories.
No, 100%. That's definitely the plan. Apart from the fact that we really want to concentrate on these players so that some of them can one day also sit on these lovely couches one day. It's about the community as a whole. We want to build a cricket community. We want to have them also see that their reality becoming a Protea player is not as far as they think they are. So with this opportunity, we are bridging the gap. There's also an awesome website that has been created. So viewers are going to have the opportunity to get closer to the player, the schools, get to know the community as well, where they come from, because all of them really have a phenomenal story to tell. And that's why we're there. Like at Super Sports Schools, we say World Cups are won 10 years before they are played. So before we see a back-to-back Rugby World Cup, they started at a school somewhere. And all that passion and all that support, like strong foundations build sporting nations. And that's why South Africa is the way it is. And we want to go spotlight those strong foundations.
Yeah, absolutely. And Poletsi, she mentions a World Cup. We saw our women's team getting so close to winning the World Cup here on home soil. We also saw the introduction of a professional women's domestic league. And of course, now we got this. It's beautiful to see because we see the talent all the time that our girls do have from a young age all the way to senior level.
No, I think it's obviously a natural progression. I'm glad Dev is here. And she's sitting next to some young lady there. I think more than anything else, the boys' pipeline is quite established, but we are still really building the girls' pipeline. So I'm hoping that there'll be even more girls' schools, or even girls themselves in the different schools will start participating, so that we can actually have like a proper structured pipeline, because all those accolades you spoke about, as you can imagine, women's cricket is still quite new. We only launched the professional league last year. So I'm excited that we're going to have school sports, which hopefully will even expand the number of players that are available. And it is good that at least now we do have that professional league for women's. The girls themselves can see that there's actually a proper pipeline, and you can actually hope and play cricket as a career, you know. So hopefully the tournament will encourage even more schoolgirls to come to the party. Yeah.
Graeme, I don't know if you have a crystal ball and you can look down the line in 10 years' time and say, that guy, that girl, they come from the school's SA20. Do you think that's going to be possible? Are you hoping for that?
Yeah, well, obviously for us now, we would love to track those stories. I think, part of, rolling out Schools SA20 is that, we want to create the platform, introduce kids to the game of cricket and really, hopefully extract some incredible talent from a young age. So I think for us, it's about that whole journey, seeing a player come through and end up hopefully, playing domestic cricket, Betway SA20, and then on to representing their country, both men and girls. So, those journeys now are going to be exciting for us to watch and track as we start, taking our first step into the schools program.
Well, I'm happy that you'll be tracking that, and no doubt with Super Sports Schools, it'll be a lot easier. Ladies and gentlemen, please give our panelists here a big round of applause. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we spoke briefly there about women's cricket, and no doubt there's so much excitement around the world for how the game can continue to grow. So I'd like to call up a brand new panel to come and chat with me. I know the youngster's very nervous, but we got you. We've got love here. Don't worry, don't cry. So I'd love to call up these individuals. I'd love to call up Tasman Brits, Proteas woman, and Krugersdorp High School alumni. Ayabonga Kaka, Proteas woman, and Tabenkonyana, Senior Secondary School alumni. Dinesha Devnarayan, head coach for the girls SA Under 19 team and academy, and of course, a chats with secondary school alumni. And lastly, and I need everyone to give a big round of applause for this young lady because she pulled me aside there like, hey, I'm very don't know. So please, a loud cheer for Simone Lawrence. Now, Simone attends Hoërskool Garsfontein. I said it right? Beautiful, beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start our conversation. I'm going to start with you, Tasman, because you have the mic and you're ready to go. As the Proteas women's team, you've achieved some incredible things in the past few years. Take me through the journey, man.
Well, as you know, there's a World Cup coming up in the next month, so hopefully we can improve on that and win the World Cup this time. But I think we made a massive leap in women's cricket, going to the final against Australia and actually making history by winning that semi-final. It's been quite a journey. I haven't been in a cricket career for too long. I was actually a javelin thrower before this, but I've been there for about 5 years. And I've seen a massive difference, and I've also heard from previous players that actually said from where they've actually started, I mean, Denisha was part of that, to where it is actually now. I think it's massive leaps.
And I feel I've got to follow that up just to ask you about, this particular league that we have, the schools league, as well as, the women's league that's been founded. How excited are you for the future of the game in our country?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Like Graeme and them said, I think it's going to close a lot of gaps. I mean, when you start with women's cricket, it's provincial, then you straight up into the international setup. And like some of the men also said, you play in stadiums that you never see provincially. I mean, sometimes we only have 10 or 20 people coming to watch us, and then making that massive shift. It's nerve-wracking. I mean, shame, Simone's young, she's nervous to talk, and I imagine having to go play there. So I'm hoping with this and everything that develops, I think it might expose a few more girls, more talent there, and then hopefully Vince McMahon there can maybe start us off with the women's SA20. So I think it just filters it from there.
Look, now he's going to be after me now because I've exposed this nickname. I'm going to come to you. You obviously coaching at that level, young girls. No doubt you'll be chomping at the bit and excited about the future.
Yeah, afternoon, everyone. It's definitely a fantastic initiative. I actually still remember I was working as an RPC assistant coach when the boys' league was going on. And I said, I want to see the day that they have a girls' competition like this year. So it's something I think our country needed. And I always like to say that I think South Africa is so rich with the soil, which is the talent of what we have in the country. And I believe having a league like this year is a seed for, I think, bigger things to come at the end of the day. Holistically, yes, we want to be a World Cup winning nation consistently. But I think what it does is that through Cricket South Africa and SA schools, SA20 schools, is that you're taking kids off the street. And I think that becomes a humanity thing. And I think it's a great time to be alive and be part of something like this year. But yeah, I think professionally as a coach, I think we talk about pipeline a lot. We talk about competitive cricket on the top. This plays a very integral part in that process.
And I mean, you speak of the process. Maybe just any young person watching today, any young person who aspires to follow in your footsteps, in Tasman's footsteps, what advice would you give young players that will be competing in this particular tournament and young players that are starting out their careers?
Good afternoon, everyone. For me, I think, first of all, it's going to be a great opportunity for the girls. I so wish I had this when I was still young. I played a lot with the boys then. But I think the advice for me is always enjoy the game, play with the heart, and if you know you want to pursue the cricket, you must always train hard and work hard, and I think I will give that to them.
All right, no, beautiful. Hallo my chom.
Hallo sir.
Hoe gaan het?
Goed, dankie.
Ik kan een beetje Afrikaans praten, maar dat is niet goed nie. Huh? Ik probeer, né? I want to speak to you about just your excitement. I mean, you've been involved with the under-19 team, the emerging team. Take me through why you love this game so much.
It's my passion. I enjoy it a lot, and yeah, I just love playing cricket.
See, I told you they won't bite. See, I told you they won't bite.
Yes.
You happy now? All right. Now, having played in the inaugural Under-19 Women's World Cup, what was that journey like, and how do you enjoy playing, for your country in your home nation?
Sorry, can you just ask me?
How did you enjoy playing for your country in South Africa for the Under-19 World Cup?
I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. It was nerve-wracking, but yeah, I just enjoyed it, and it was a lot of experience I've got.
I know you came with your mom today.
Yes.
Was she there for every game?
Not all the games, but yeah, she was a few.
Look, the good thing is, Mom, we've got super sports schools now. You're covered, so don't worry. Anyway, you can watch the game. And yeah, I want to come back to you, Abong. I mean, you can see how passionate she is with regards to this game, and no doubt, the spin-offs for this, not only for the national team, but also for just young girls out there, it could be massive.
Yeah, I think it's going to play a big part to our system, to the women's pipeline. We always wanted we always talked about closing the gap. I think this tournament is also is going to play a good part to close that gap that we always talk about. I think the generation that I play with, we played and we where we are, but without the structure that was supposed to be. But I think the next generation will have a great structure, and hoping that the women's game will grow by strength.
Dinesha, no doubt. I want to ask you. We've seen with the success of the women's team, and now with such initiatives, have you seen a spike with regards to the involvement of young girls in playing cricket, and I guess it being a truly special journey for them to take?
Yeah, definitely. I think a big talking point was the Proteas making finals at home, and that sparked a lot of curiosity amongst the youngsters. I think the amount of participation we get for girls picking up a bat and ball now has been massive after that. This becomes a very important tool for obviously to sustain that now. But yeah, I think just with the launch of the SA schools and it be talk around the country, I think in the space of 2 days, I think there's about 16 schools that got in contact with me to say, how can we get involved in girls cricket? And for me, I think that's what we, as a country, I think we want to achieve. Because ideally, without that there, we can't be talking about being a competitive team that wins World Cups consistently. So it's been massive. I think the introduction of the Under-19 World Cup has been good. So now if you look at it, you got your national weeks at a development level from under-13 right up until under-19. They compete at World Cups. That's international experience, which most of the Proteas players didn't have before, and they had to go gain there on international playing conditions. And then you got domestic cricket, which is professionalized now. You know, there's talks of hopefully an SAA team that's coming up, and then you get the Proteas. And I think what the girls have achieved already by not having those before has been extraordinary. So obviously, I think it's just going to be really exciting in the years to come to see what is that product and what does that look like.
And I mean, you've touched on the next generation, grassroots. I am also touched on it. Tasman, from your point of view, as a player who's in our system and learning, how big an impact do you think these sort of tournaments can have on grassroots cricket and bringing players through that hopefully, you know, as senior players, you'll nurture for the next generation?
I think it makes a massive difference. I mean, if we had the setup, then maybe I wouldn't have gone to the javelin route, and maybe I would have started cricket a bit earlier. And like Tanisha and them said, with the provincials that are already becoming more, you know, professional, you don't have to do an 8-to-5 job. You know, that was a big thing when they were also playing, and in my season and my reasoning as well. You know, you couldn't just go play cricket because that couldn't become your job. And I think with this and setting up for that, there's a lot more things that are opening up doors. So I think girls in general and women in general will actually look at that and actually make a career out of it, which will make them automatically play more when they come out of schools for this SAT20.
All right. Lastly, I've got to go back to my friend here. What are you excited about with regards to this tournament?
I think for the experience to play with our age groups, and just to have fun, and for the first one, it's going to be very exciting.
Beautiful. I love it. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much, ladies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, schools cricket plays an important part in shaping the next generation. And of course, a few of the players that we have here, they've competed in schools T20 tournaments. So it's probably the perfect place to be able to just have a quick chat with them with regards to potentially what could happen in the future. And I'd like to call them up. Some of them are returning. And I'm also going to include their schools. Patrick Kruger, who obviously recently played for the Proteas and Sunrisers Eastern Cape. He hails from Northern Cape High. Now the next man I'll call up, he made his debut for the Lions here in Johannesburg. There's that iconic picture of his in school uniform in the change room. I'm sure everyone asked him about that. It's Vian Mulder from St. Stithians College. And another man who made his debut for South Africa recently, hey, he bowls fast, this guy. Kwena Mapaga, also from St. Stithians College. And then lastly, I haven't seen him, I don't know if he's here, it's Richard Seletswane from SA19 as well as St. Stithians College. Oh, there you are. They must give you the seat with the mic, so you're ready to rock and roll, eh? What's going on? St. Stithians are just dominating here. Huh? What are you guys feeding them down that side? Patrick, you went to Northern Cape High, and you know, there's a friend of mine who hails from Kimberley. He had forgotten your name, right? And when he saw you playing for South Africa, he calls me. He's like, there's that guy that used to hit us everywhere. He's like, that guy traumatized me and made me quit cricket. Huh? But how special is it? I mean, you hail from Kimberley. There's so much talent in that particular part of the world. Take me through your school days and playing for your school in the school's T20 tournament.
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, primary school, I didn't have really a lot of opportunities to play competitive cricket until I went to Northern Cape. And then we had our tours and stuff. And then obviously the school's Pro 20. And then you could have played against better schools and travel and stuff like that. So it's really been, or it was really good for me. Obviously, with my development only in high school, but I made the most of it and obviously tried to push myself as much as I could. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was really good also playing on TV and stuff when you're so young. So yeah, it was good.
Richard, no doubt it's still fresh for you. So take me through your school boy experience and playing T20 cricket and how it can benefit, you know, youngsters that are coming through.
Obviously, afternoon, everyone. I think, obviously, you know, for me, like, coming from a school like Laat Kruger's op Noord, which is in Krugersdorp, I always wanted to play cricket, you know. I think growing up, you know, that was my dream. And obviously moving to St. Stithians in grade 7 was obviously a big step for me. And then, obviously, you know, like, I think this is a very massive opportunity for youngsters coming up, especially with the talent we've got here in the country. I think, you know, this will open doors for, I think even franchises in the SA20 will look at like a lot of these games because there's a lot of talent, and it's obviously like, obviously it will benefit both the schools and SA20, I think the franchises, because now this is more realistic for them to pick players based on T20s, not like 50 overs, because that's not really realistic, you know, to pick guys coming through the ranks. So I think, you know, this is a massive opportunity. You know, obviously for me, I won't be able to play in this because obviously I'm matric now. So yeah, for the guys coming up, I think this is brilliant for them. So yeah,
Hey, you're salivating. You're like, ish, I just missed this thing, eh?
Yeah, I know. Like I was like my dream was always to play in it, you know, because, you know, like I watched like guys like Vian, you know, playing it and stuff like that. I was like, nah, come on. Now when we leave, now you want to bring it back. So it's mad, but it's good. It's good. Obviously good for the future. So,
Look,
yeah.
give the mic to that guy next to you there because, yeah, it's a good thing that you can't play. I mean, I saw those speeds in the West Indies. 147. I'm like, hey, this guy's playing games, eh? But let me take you through your journey. I mean, it's been magical, no doubt. Lots of ups and downs, but you seem like you're taking it to like a duck to water. That's how they say it in English, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think my journey's been a little bit different to your average schoolboy. Definitely over the last 12 months, things have moved really quickly, and I've been really fortunate to be in the positions that I've been in, working with the people that I've worked with. But I think if you look at the school's SA20, it gives kids a really good opportunity to kind of move through the ranks, maybe as quickly as I did, maybe not. But it really gives kids a great opportunity to move through the ranks and to build their skill, build their rapport, and really just become amazing cricketers and amazing people.
I mean, you play for the Paarl Royals, and no doubt you was a rookie last season. No doubt there would have been a big influence in that change room, you know, as well as the coach who was a fine fast bowler himself in Shane Bond.
Yeah, definitely. I think me and Bondi had a few conversations in the change room, and we met back up in India. I think having guys like that in the change room, having superstars, having really good mentors in the change room, it really like changes your perspective on the game. It changes your perspective on life, and you get to grow so much more as a person and as a cricketer with the likes of Lungi, the likes of Shane Bond in the change room.
Vian, I mean, you've played in this particular tournament, and I guess the broader reach and the potential that this creates, and maybe what it did for you as a player as well as a young man.
Yeah, it was awesome. I played my first one. I was in grade 10, and it was the first experience to real pressure. I think playing against competitive teams who won their provincial comp, I guess you could call it, back in the day. So I think it was the first experience to pressure, and the first time you could really see how good you are. It really show the people you're playing against that, listen, I'm serious. And then the next step was kind of SA19 from there. So it's a great part of the pipeline. I think it's something that I didn't know it was gone, even, to be honest. It was a Saints from Gauteng. Saints used to win it, as you can see. I should have had my Saints blazer here just to keep the Cares guys quiet. But yeah, it's a great part of the pipeline, and I think it's really exciting that it's back. I remember the cameras and the interviews and everything kind of starts there, and we're all nervous when we're up here and when we're doing those interviews, so you're not alone. But it's a great part of the pipeline. It's a great part that you kind of learn how the next step into professional cricket looks like.
Now, Richard, you qualify for the rookie this year. Did you throw your name in the hat, or are you focusing on school, or what's happening?
Yeah, obviously it's school first, but yeah, I think I'll be in the auction. But obviously, you know, like, you know, it'd be a good opportunity if I get picked, you know, which is amazing, you know, to share change rooms with guys like Vian, you know, obviously Paxi over here, guys like, you know, Ben Stokes, Kane, you know, so these big names, you know, are in these teams. You know, it'd be nice to be picked. But obviously, you know, like, it's not the end of the world, you know, if you don't get picked, because, you know, I'm still young. So, you know, there's always opportunity the following years. So, yeah, I'm not really too bothered about it, but if I get picked, it would be nice. But, yeah, it's not really my main thing, really, to be honest, yeah.
And Patrick, you know, there'll be a young boy, a young girl watching from Kimberley, where you come from, dreaming to one day replicate what Patrick Kruger's been able to do on the domestic and international stage, as well as the SA20. So take me through what you would say to them, just to encourage them as young people to say, how did Patrick Kruger go from Kimberley to the Proteas?
Yeah, it is a bit harder to make it when you come from Kimberley because you don't have much opportunities to obviously mix with the big names and stuff. But obviously, you're never out of it. You must always obviously work for your goals. I got opportunity to move to Bloem, so I learned much of my cricket there, or more of my cricket there. And when I went to the Warriors now, I'm still learning things about my game. But I just think you shouldn't give up on your dream, especially if you come from a smaller place. It is harder to make it, but it's not impossible, you know. So I just think work on your skills, work hard, give it your all every day, and just believe. I think believe in yourself and enjoy. Yeah, that's probably
some inspirational words. Thank you very much, Patrick. And in closing, Gwena, I want to know about your goals. You've spoken about how fast things have gone in the last 12 months. Next year, shackles will be off, exams will be done. What are you aiming to achieve in season 3?
Oh, definitely. I think season 3 is going to be very exciting. Honestly, I haven't looked too much into my goals for the SA20 so far, but really what I'm looking to do is put in good performances for the team and hopefully can push us over the line to win our first SA20 comp. And, you know, if things go well for me in doing that, then things go well. If things don't really go well and we still win, I'm happy with that.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. Thank you very much, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up proceedings for today. I want to thank our panelists for their amazing insights. And, of course, I'd like to thank everyone who has been in attendance today. And I hope that we all, as a nation, continue to support these amazing players, this amazing tournament, and what is to come in the future. So another big round of applause for everyone. Now, please note that all our panelists will be available for interviews, for one-on-ones. Just a reminder there, we've set up dedicated areas. So if you're going to be speaking about the school's SA20, please use those branded backdrops. And then, of course, Betway SA20 interviews, they will be conducted at that particular backdrop. I'd also like to thank a big thank you to some individuals that play a massive part within our cricketing ecosystem. Those are CSA schools coordinators who are in attendance today. I think we want to take our hats off to all of you for all the work that you do. So can we please just give them a big round of applause? And before I say goodbye, I just want to remind you all that we do have a special package for you to grab before you leave. I hope all of you have enjoyed today. I hope all of you are excited for what's to come. We are welcoming you to the next chapter of Incredible. We hope you enjoy it, and it's going to be truly special. My name is Fiso Mazibugo. Thank you very much.